Gato Perro bringing you another DC Collectibles Arkham Origins figure review, this time on the Series 2 Firefly. Unfortunately, already inside the package I can see that the wing has been knocked off of its place, so it's kind of messed up in there on all sorts of places, like there's a piece at the bottom. But hopefully that will not be an issue. Speaking of the wings, judging by the way they've been packaged inside of this box, it seemed like DC Collectibles planned ahead, knowing that they were going to have to package his wings in here. So maybe the whole shape is the reason why it's like that, because they were, you know, planning, knowing they were going to have to fit the wings in there somewhere. So that's my theory. Either way, it still looks pretty cool on the front with the basic packaging. On the back, we just have a description of the video game. And on the bottom, we have the other characters in this series, including Deadshot, Deathstroke, Killer Croc, Anarchy, and Firefly. Everything's okay. The wings didn't get damaged or anything. They stick on really well. Everything looks really fine on this figure, and all of my concerns are gone. On previous reviews, I have seen how the ball joint, mostly on the left leg, pops out. Either that or the see-through plastic joints kind of just give out and they break. Thankfully, this figure is just perfect. He's really awesome. I really enjoy this character from the video game. He had a really fun boss fight, which is actually one of my favorites in the Arkham series. Yeah, so let's get right to this figure. He has a lot of great paint detail. Look at his visor, it's really nice gold color. Looks really accurate to the game. Though I do remember, I think he had more of a honeycomb pattern on his visor. I could be wrong, but whatever. Still looks really awesome. Really like the paint detail on, I don't know what type of collar that is. It almost looks like what a pilot would wear, kind of. I guess. I don't really know about this stuff. Though he is mostly like a black and yellow colored character on this figure. Really like everything. He does some paint variation when it comes to his canisters on his chest. I do think those are explosive, so you know, that's what he's all about. But he does also have some gray going across the stripes of his shoulders on this side. Also has the yellow outline going across that. I don't think that's sculpted. Oh wait, it is. It has like rivets going across it. Looks really awesome. This is supposed to be like a fire hazard safety suits. This looks really awesome. Let's continue down. His gloves are all painted. His knuckles are also sculpted very differently. He does also hold his gun, which we'll get into later. Everything's nicely sculpted. There's lots of buckles and belts, stuff like that. Yellow. Some of the parts are also painted like to look like they're worn out pieces of steel, I'm guessing. And he also has a lot of rivets going down the side of his pants. Continues down. And this always kind of like how, I don't know, aerodynamic stuff. Maybe that helps him fly a bit more. Maybe those are thrusters. Who knows? And you also have the boots, which kind of look like what airplane tracks look like. I don't know. You know what I mean? When they're about to take off. I could just be talking a bunch of nonsense. Here, the back of the figure is not as nicely painted. It's mostly just a solid black color. But the main attraction of the figure would be his wings. We do have a giant wingspan. Kind of decent. They're around 6 inches tall, and they kind of do tend to fall off if you let the figure fall down by himself, or they eventually just come off. Especially like these parts right here, they kind of tend to fall off. But they're still really nicely painted. They're more of a gunmetal color, but the tubing is more black. So those look really nice. And the top of them, that's kind of have the yellow caution signs on top of them. They're painted, not stickers. And this has more black dry brushing, not dry brushing, but like painting going across it. Makes it look really nice and worn out, like there would be fire coming out of it. It still looks really nice. I kind of do wish it came with some fire accessories, maybe for the what do you call this? Okay, so I believe it's called a flame thruster. I guess I'm gonna call it. I don't know. If anybody knows, please comment. I'm pretty sure you won't, but you know, if everybody actually knows the name of this, please tell me. But it still looks really nice. It does have more of the nice metal color on the more of the canister of the gun, while the actual nozzle and the grip are more of a flat silver paint color. But then the handle is also kind of blackish, and the figure does hold it very well. At first, the right hand is, it looks like it's just a regular relaxed hand, but then you kind of gotta peel the pinky, not the pinky, the index finger to the point where it just looks like a trigger finger. So that was kind of difficult. You kind of gotta squeeze in between the trigger. So it still looks really nice. Everything about them is just really nice. This also have this tube that connects to the back and also connects to the gun, which is black and has these kind of like yellow stripes going across. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, 4 of them just connects to the back. Sometimes it does tend to just come off, but most of the time, as long as you just have them posted there, it will not. So for Firefly articulation, I feel like they had to just the overall look of the figure kind of hindered his articulation. Maybe even the fact that they had to add more plastic towards his accessories. But you can see his head does not move side to side or up and down at all, mostly due to the design. His arms do go out on the ball joints, which is really nice. At least his elbows are just some ball joints that go up and down. And then up and down. They bend and they go side to side fairly enough. And I like how they made his hands sculpted and the wrist articulation overall, the entire arm, so you can get him to like hold his actual flame thruster, as I'm calling it, to hold it in a proper way. So it does have wrist articulation on both sides. And I believe due to the canisters and obviously the sculpted, he does not have a waist or a crunch. I could have seen them adding a torso articulation, you know, like the one that twists side to side on there, but that's it. And I didn't notice before, but they have these kind of grenades right here, which do look really good. They're also painted and they're yellow and black. Alright, back to articulation. He does have our legs that go up and down, surprisingly, but they kind of go at an angle, kind of a weird angle, but they do go out like that, and they do go actually out, but that much right there if you don't want to stress the ball joint. He does have a single jointed knee, which is kind of hard to bend, but you can get it done like that. It bends far enough. There goes the gun. And he has no ankle articulation, but that will mostly be due so that he won't exactly fall down, so the ankles won't be too weak, so he can even hold himself up. So that's still really nice. So we compare Firefly to other figures in this line. Alright, so Firefly does stand around 6 3/4 inches tall. Pretty decent height, regular scale for the DC Collectibles line. Here he is compared to Batman, who is just, maybe he's taller, maybe. Yeah, he's taller by about a little bit, maybe just because of his ears. Though Firefly does have a much bigger head because of his helmet. Here he is compared to Bane, who is also a deluxe figure. Obviously, he's going to be way taller than him. There you can see how tall he is there. And here's Killer Croc, who was the only figure I didn't compare him to. Yeah, he's way taller. And I didn't notice this, but I'm actually holding the piece of one of the wings by accident that came off. That's what I meant. Like, this kind of tend to come off, but it just fits right in, and this entire wing comes off. So what's the point? Well, alright, so I would really recommend this figure. I would say be careful with the wings. Try not to make them fall off of his place. I will put that back on. Trust me, they're firmly on there, but they do kind of fall off sometimes. Anyway, I would give this figure a nice 8.5. He's absolutely awesome. Again, great job by DC Collectibles. He looks just like the video game. I absolutely love him in the game. He's absolutely funny because of his constant jokes in the game or his banter. Mr. Gato, what would you rate this figure? Rate? No, sorry.
I would give him an 8.5.
8.5. Please go get it if you can. Apparently, this is one per box. Maybe. When I went to go pick up others, he was the only one left, and there was like a ton of anarchies. There was like 12 of them, maybe 9. Apparently no one likes anarchy, and I did not pick one up either. Anyway, please stay tuned for more reviews and stop motions.